It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Steve.
But you still get a handful and a good amount of people coming in in the November show. And
maybe do it over the summer, so it's like an outdoor, like a beer garden type place.
I thought we talked about November.
Well, then it wouldn't be an outdoor beer garden type place. No. I generally don't listen to you talk.
And Kyle.
Trailer.
I think Carla's out of the running.
What happened to Carla?
Do you know how old it is? Oh, it was made in 1983.
Yeah. You know when it was made, Carla?
I'm just waiting for the punchline.
Back in 1973.
That's basically the same joke I just did.
What?
But you changed the decade.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
I forgot about the big joke fail.
Fail? You mean I nailed it? You did the 80s, I went with the 70s. It was like a
Totally different.
It was like a 1-2 punch in a boxing match.
Here's 1983. Oh, yeah?
Always fun, as I talked about, digging through the archives. Whenever I can't find something in the last week's episode or recently that lines up time-wise, Steve, I go digging through the archives to try to find something, and I barely look at them. I simply find a time that works and throw it in the intro, so it's always a joy when I get to hear the old studios.
Oh, yeah.
We are on our fourth incarnation here. Fifth,
yeah, because we had the outdoor one.
That's right.
Actually, we had a porch cast.
Yes.
Or a deck cast, and then we had a sunroom cast.
That's right.
For maybe a month or so.
We've had Zoomcast.
Zoomcast. Yeah, this podcast is...
Should we label them all points of studios? Because we have another new studio coming up next week.
We do, yeah. We're going to be on a...
Less than next week. I'm sorry, but I mean...
Less than next week,
less than a week away. We're going to add another one to the ever-evolving catalog of studios.
We'll be on a trailer.
A trailer. That... Nerves are high because I still have only seen a picture of it.
Nerves are very high. Yeah, now, full disclosure, we're recording this about 5 minutes after we recorded the last episode because you have some travel coming up. I have some guests that are going to be in town. And this was the only time that we could do it. But yeah, we are 2 weeks to the day right now out from Parade Cast. Even though you'll be hearing this just 3 or 4 days before Parade Cast.
Yeah.
So since our last episode... we have gotten 0 accomplished because, again, that was 5 minutes ago.
That's not true.
I was able to walk upstairs. Yeah, I walked upstairs and went to the bathroom.
Yeah. Pretty productive.
We have somewhat of a list laid out of things that we still need to pick up. I would hope by the time you're hearing this that we have those things picked up. I have a short list of things that need to be done to the Comanche.
Yep. And then we need the trailer.
I might have a backup just in case, for whatever reason, one falls through.
Well, we still have, and I don't know if it would be available, but if this isn't the backup you're already referencing, Sign Nolan Ryan.
That is. Okay. It is. Yeah, I spoke to him last week or the week before.
Okay.
And he said that he's got it. He said it shouldn't be in use.
Okay.
So hopefully, I'm nervous about it. The more I think about it, the more nervous I get. But for me, the hard work has been done. The hard work was resurrecting a vehicle from the dead, getting it back on the road, roadworthy, ready to drive through a parade.
And for me, I feel like we haven't done nearly enough.
Yeah.
I worry...
I rebuilt a truck. What have you done?
Well, I mean, you're welcome, by the way. Okay? Because...
hold on. First of all, thank you. Second of all, what am I thanking you for?
I am willing at this point to take credit. A good, sizable chunk of credit.
Okay.
For that Comanche having
that's
substantial progress.
That's interesting.
Because before this Parade Cast...
Hold on. I'm typing out the show notes. Kyle takes credit for something.
By the way, I had something I want to talk to you about. So I'm not going to spend too much time taking the credit unless you want to continue to shower the credit on me. And then we can skip whatever else we want to talk about today. before this parade thing,
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to say the Jeep Comanche was lingering on, and I'm not going to say afterthought, but you know what I'm saying, right?
It had stalled.
Yeah.
It had stalled for 6 months.
Because
zero progress was made in 6 months.
Now, very briefly, let's give a very quick timeline. You bought the Jeep Comanche when?
Bought the Jeep Comanche Labor Day weekend 2020.
Okay. We are past 2 years now when we started discussing the parade, and I remember the exact instant you and I started thinking about the parade. It was when we were at the parade on the 4th of July.
Memorial Day.
Sorry, of course. Memorial Day parade, so in May. Mm-hmm. So before, whatever it was, May 27, May 28, your birthday, essentially. Mm-hmm. When was the last time you had worked on the Comanche? Do you remember?
I know that from the new year until that point, it was, almost non-existent.
Pretty barren.
Yeah.
We talked parade.
I'm starting to think, is this an inside job? You talk to my wife?
God almighty. If you think I care at all about this Jeep Comanche.
No. I know you don't, but I'm thinking, did Annette pay you or something? Did she come to you and say, I want this stupid thing out of my garage?
I can't believe
motivate him in any way possible.
We talked about it in last week's episode, Steve, where you showed up in my driveway and we drove around. I can't fathom you backing that out into the driveway one day, having, much like one of those Lexus Christmas commercials, right? Where coming out, there's a big bow on it. Big bow. And your wife and family are going to come out and you're going to say, huh? And I know Annette and I know humans. They're going to look at that thing in the driveway and go, is that it? And you're going to feel equal parts hurt because you've spent well over 2 years.
This has taken me 30 years.
And equal parts lost because you did all that work and now what?
Yeah.
So,
well, let me tell you, last night I wanted to, for weeks, for months, I've been talking to Evelyn saying do you want to go for a ride in Dada's truck? And she goes, yeah.
Against the law, by the way, but no big deal.
Yeah.
Just you and me.
Definitely. Yeah. So yesterday, now that the truck is finally roadworthy, I said to her, Evelyn, do you want to go for a ride around the block in Dada's truck? No. I was like, well, that is...
She couldn't even care less.
That's hurtful. It wasn't just, no. It was like, why are you asking me this, old man?
You absolutely perturbed her with the implication.
Yeah.
That she should or would want to go with you.
So the only way that was going to fly is if Mama was with us, because I know that most parents will understand this, but we are in a full-on Mama phase right now, not a Dada phase.
Okay.
Wants nothing to do with me.
I can see why. I don't blame her.
Yeah, that's...
no offense.
I was about to say offense taken, but hey, you beat me to it. So I'm not offended. So I really wanted to make this happen.
Yeah.
Because I knew that she was going to have fun. And the only way we were able to do it is if Mama came with us. Well, the only way that Mama comes with us is if baby Boulinois comes with us. So last night after dinner, the four of us hopped into the Comanche. It was me driving, Evelyn sitting in the center, Annette on the end with baby Boulinois on her lap. Yes, completely illegal.
I just can't fathom.
But we basically idled around the block at about 3 miles per hour. And good times were had by all.
I can't fathom the texts that were exchanged among the other neighbors that don't include you in their text messages with the other neighbors about what was happening near their home.
Yeah. Hey, you know that truck that we seldom see?
Remember how we thought we were going to get rid of that turd? It's back.
So yeah, we took a spin. The whole family loved it.
Yeah.
Side note, the whole family did not love it.
Oh,
my wife was just kind of had a look on her face the whole time like,
oh no. Is this
Like,
starting to
for
hurt
me-
your feelings a little bit because you've
little
cared
bit.
so deeply
Little bit.
and now for so long that it's just not equated on the other side of that marriage.
It definitely is not. Now, look, I don't expect her to be as excited about it as me. I don't
And
expect
why-
her. I
and
don't
why would
expect
she?
her. I don't expect her to be excited at all.
Yeah.
About the truck. But it's a little hurtful that she's not more excited because of my excitement.
Right. That's the idea that you are. She can't feign a little bit for you.
Yeah. Like
Just a
Just
touch.
lie. Just
Because she knows what this has meant to you for years now. Before you even bought one, you were badgering her with idiotic Comanche discussions.
Yeah.
She didn't care about.
yeah.
So I'm sure in her mind, she probably already thought, hey, I'll let him buy it and I won't have to hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
But she didn't anticipate, along with that 2.5 years of the second stall of her garage would be eaten up.
Yeah.
And that you wouldn't shut up about it. I don't think she anticipated an
know
Instagram account. I don't think she anticipated the
but that's
length of time.
But that's not me talking to her about it. That is
No. That's
it's not
totally
like
fair.
it's not like I post a picture
Right.
and then run in and say like, "Hey, what do you think about this? Huh? Check it out. I got the brakes done. Whoa, look at that. I just
But if
wired
you were
up the
to
alternator."
if you were to text her right now and just say, "Do you think having at Second Chance Jeeps has made the Comanche rebuild longer?" What do you think she would say?
No,
Just from an
I
outsider's
don't think
perspective,
that,
right?
No, she wouldn't. No, she knows that I'm the issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the way it's gone?
The way that what has gone exactly.
The whole Comanche thing.
No. I mean, it's gone a bit slow.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
You were never on a deadline for this.
No deadline. I mean, I set deadlines, but
Probably-
they weren't deadlines that needed to be met for any reason.
Right. Probably
So-
exteriorly, if that's a word, enforced or encouraged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we would talk about it on the podcast,
Yeah.
and I would ask you continually, when
How's
do you
it
think
coming
you'll be
along?
operational, etc. And I think even if you don't believe it fully, to a degree, that I gotta make progress, gotta do this, gotta do that, right? And
I was stalled for a long time because of the area that I was working on.
right,
I burnt myself out on it, but once I got past that, it's been good progress,
okay,
and I'm happy with that. Yeah, I guess I just thought that
be a little bit of excitement.
a little bit.
I am on your side in terms of, I think even, and now granted, I know that it's not like her, she wouldn't like fake that, but man, just put a grin on or something because this is what you've wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get excited about things that she's excited about.
I'm sure you're over the moon when she, pushes a different button on the Cricut,
Yeah, love it.
right? Comes out with a new, hairband. And you're like, hey, hot seller.
Yeah,
Whatever.
sure.
Think she could have a little bit of that about the bolted in spare tire in the truck bed.
Yeah, I mean,
It hasn't happened.
yeah, I mean, and it probably won't because she doesn't listen anymore. It's not like she's gonna get the hint.
I wanted to ask you because I've thought about this a lot, and I think I brought it up to you in the past too. When I walked in, we never fully recapped Halloween, but I wanted to make sure you were aware of the date. It's the 5th of November, Steve.
Oh, remember
Sure, that's one way to think about it.
the 5th of November?
Why the hell are all your Halloween decorations still out there, man?
They're not.
Well, the pumpkins.
Oh, the pumpkins are.
The pumpkins are all
Yeah.
out, and in shockingly anti-Steve fashion, Mickey and Minnie were removed,
They were.
and they were whipped onto the porch and forgotten about.
They were moved in a panic because
Oh, no.
Yeah, because we had this year I decided to do the smart thing and pay someone to clean up all the leaves.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
So when I saw that they had pulled up out front and they were getting their leaf blowers and their tractors and everything ready, I just ran out there in my socks, ripped them both out of the lawn, threw them up on the front porch, much to Evelyn's disappointment. So we have struck a deal with her now that
oh no,
she needs one more day to, I guess, say goodbye to them. So we're gonna put them back out.
So this has been a week long.
Well, this just happened yesterday.
Okay, so they were in the yard until yesterday.
In the yard until yesterday.
It's already it's the 4th.
Yeah.
It's coming up on it's
right.
You've reached the crest of the hill of a week, and you're on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. Mm-hmm. Any dignity left, or
look, I'm new to this whole Halloween enjoyment thing. By the way,
right.
Had a blast.
Did you?
Absolute blast.
There is.
Love it, but I loved it for all the reasons that you hate it.
Which, oh no.
Talking to people.
Oh, get out of my life. Just leave me alone. I love a bucket on a table. Love it. No interaction. Don't have to deal with people. Pick what you want. You know?
How'd your giveaway go? You end up with a lot of
went delightful.
A lot of leftovers, or
of course, yeah, a ton. I had prepared a little over 100 full-size candy bars, and then 3 bags of small Kit Kats because I had decided on principle, not to be rude, but the infants in the stroller don't need full-size Kit Kats.
No, not at all.
Or a full-size Hershey bar. At that point, I'm feeding chocolate to their parents, which, whatever. It's Halloween. It's not like I'm, judging whoever's getting candy. I don't care. But to that point, they can get a small candy, right? Yeah, probably in the most beautiful Halloween night I've ever remembered. Ever.
Last year was amazing, too.
Last year was nice. This was
amazing.
in the 60s here where we are, and no wind. It was flawless around here.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So I was a little bit disappointed in how many people had come around. Not as many as I thought.
I noticed that it was, there weren't nearly as many people out as I remember there being last year.
Thank you for asking, because the trunk or treat is still ruining Halloween. Stop it. Unless you are in a neighborhood or apartment building or whatever, that is the replacement on Halloween.
Anti-trunk or treat.
Enough.
Okay.
You're ruining it, because now parents are taking their kids to these stupid trunk or treats 4 days before Halloween and making their idiot kids believe that stupid event was the actual Halloween.
Yeah.
It's
pretty much the worst thing.
It's awful. Awful. If you want to be an old person and hand out kids the candy, go to some of your family members or turn the light on your porch. Stop being an idiot and decorating your trunk. The hell are we doing here? Decorate a house, not a trunk.
Yeah, man. Preach.
Hand out candy in a parking lot. How ridiculous. Because then those kids, Steve, they don't care enough to go out twice. Okay? Halloween to them is then over after the trunk or treat. And that is not the way it works.
Sing it, man.
Not the way it works. Just because you go and have Thanksgiving with your family the weekend before on the other side of the state, that does not mean Thanksgiving is then.
Yes. I agree.
You still... Why can't we just do it properly? Let the kids go through the neighborhood with their buckets or their pillowcases.
Yeah.
Get the candy. Instead, we're shutting lights off. And by the way, if you are going around the neighborhood, not only that, but if you're inviting your family over or a friend over to go around the neighborhood with their kids, and you're not turning your light on or handing out candy, I'm watching you, bucko. I got my eye on you, and I know when you're...
Wait, so... All right, I need this in a situation I can understand.
It was a neighbor, Steve.
Okay.
And they've done it every year.
Okay. Please, from the top, I need to hear their list of offenses.
This idiot family has decorations up in October. Yeah. And not like over the top Halloween, it's fall, right? So but they carved pumpkins this year, they're out there on their porch. And every year they take their kids around the block, get candy. This year they added to that. Had family or friend come over in a car. Their kids walked around the block. Yeah. And you know what they did? They turned the lights off on their own house and didn't put out a bowl of candy. For the, how many years have I lived there? Every year that I've been there.
It's shocking. The only thing more shocking is that you're keeping notes on this.
How are you not? How is there no sense of this is wrong?
I hear you, man.
But if you're going to walk around, Steve, and partake, should you not have to? It's a Halloween and trick or treating is a reciprocal relationship among the neighborhood.
Get you a Chuck E. C. By the way.
No, I'm too fired up. I couldn't be less interested. It's a reciprocal relationship among the neighborhood. And I don't talk to any of these heathens in the neighborhood. But you cannot tell me with good conscience that that is okay, Steve. You at least put a bucket out, right? Mm-hmm. You have to partake in the portion that costs you money for your kids to be able to take part where they go get the candy. Okay? Enough. It's a two-way street here, idiots. Stop taking advantage of it. Stop drunk driving down the one-way street that you think it is. It made me so mad. It made me so mad. And I've seen it every year. Every year they do it. Wow. And I think next year, if I'm still in that house, only move because of the neighbors, I will have Reed go knock on the door and yell trick or treat. Just repeatedly. Repeatedly.
Is there anything that makes you happy?
Halloween, I love it. I just adore it.
It sounds like it's just a barrel of laughs for you.
I meant to take a little daytime video of my setup in the yard. Added a bunch extra this year. Loved it. Big fan. Neighbors, you all suck. All of them.
You got to follow the example, neighbors. Talking to you, D-Dot.
Yeah, I don't know if he was there. You know what? I'm upset. I'm upset by everybody. If you're not partaking in Halloween, well, or if you are taking part in the get candy, you give candy. It's a reciprocal two-way street. Everybody knows it. So you have the goodbye ceremony for the Mickey and Minnie vampire today.
I don't know. Is it still raining? Was it raining when you got here?
It was not raining.
Okay, yeah. We'll probably set them up today. Have a little stand out in the yard and hug them for upwards of 2 hours today.
God, you got a weird kid, man.
I know. She's so weird. She thinks they're real.
I mean, she's not a huge conversationalist with people she doesn't know, so maybe she thinks that's just totally normal, right?
Yeah.
God, they're so dumb.
Yeah. So we'll do that for probably until tomorrow, and then they'll come down.
Where are you at on continuing and just leaving that plug out there? Because I also noticed, like you said, you were running out into the yard with your socks. I noticed the long extension cord.
Mm-hmm.
Whipped onto the porch as well.
Yep.
In a fury and a panic.
Yep.
And I wonder, do you now need, Mickey, Minnie, Pilgrim outfits?
So you want me to go back, get the Pilgrim outfits, then maybe a week after that, go back and get the Santa hats?
Well, you could save yourself a trip and just buy them all at once.
Just buy them all, yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
They really need to make those basically
interchangeable,
like mannequins.
Absolutely.
Is that a?
You could just buy a Mickey Minnie mannequin and dress them up. I mean, they wouldn't be lit up or anything, and your daughter would probably hate them.
Yeah. So that's where we're at here, decoration wise. I feel like such a fool. Haven't even thought about Christmas decorations yet.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to be adding this year. Mm-hmm. On your adventure,
I say I'm lucky if I break even this year.
In terms of put out what you already have?
Yeah.
So you're in internal discussions to not put up what you even put up last year?
No, it'll go up.
We can't backslide all the way to where you've got, the lights wrapped around a post and that's it. We can't go back. We can't backslide. You think your daughter's going to accept that? Now, granted, you were a little bit disappointed in her reaction last year. Was not overly excited, if I recall, when you flipped them on for the first time. Was she?
Man, I'm having trouble remembering. I think she was excited, but I mean, I wanted a little bit more.
Right, and trust me when I say that the only way you'll get more or different is if you don't put that up now and you backslash. You go, Dad, Dad, where are all the lights?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you're going to be out there on like a Thursday night, the week before Christmas, Griswold stapling to the roof.
Straight to the shingles. Yeah, we'll see. I think next weekend is supposed to be relatively okay.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Nope. Okay. Your last chance, and let me tell you the reason I know this, because I'm going to be on a ladder tomorrow.
Last chance is tomorrow?
Last chance.
I might be able to make that happen.
Last chance weekend time. Now, you have a little different schedule in the way you do things because you're down in the trenches at different time.
Just digging away.
But yeah, next weekend you were looking at highs. Let me give you just the rundown of the next day. 65, 61, 52, 51, 67, 64. Let's get to next weekend.
Okay.
43 in rain, 40 and 42.
Okay, so what you're saying is in the next couple days I got to get those lights up.
You've got till Wednesday night to get those lights on the house.
Okay.
Unless, again, you can just be out there like a scumbag doing them in the... And I know my wife hates it, but I'm going to be out there tomorrow putting them all up. I probably won't turn them on. If it were just me, I would, because as you know, Steve, I am a Christmas nut. Mm-hmm. Okay, Christmas music was on the car November 1st. Mm-hmm. When I was taking Reed to daycare. Don't miss a beat. I am ready to get those things on, fired up, celebrate the season.
Hot cocoa, everything.
And the solstice.
Yeah.
I'll be out there on a ladder. I might even bring out a boombox. Don't even think I have one.
Gonna have to go buy a boombox first.
Tune the dial to one of the 2 Christmas stations in town.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, hopefully by next week I'll be able to give you an update.
Yes.
Actually, no, because next week is going to be Paradecast. We are just going to be filled with other things to talk about.
You're really not going to hear from us a normal episode for 2 weeks. And that'll be the week after Thanksgiving. So, important to mention, again, as we have at the start of the episode, it's the time of year again, Steve, for the Earth's rotation to lead us into a new season. The 7th annual Steve and Kyle podcast, non-denominational Cloak and Dagger Winter Solstice.
You put Cloak and Dagger a little too late. It's going to be the
I didn't have the tab
7th annual Steve and Kyle podcast, Cloak and Dagger, non-denominational Winter Solstice gift exchange.
That's right. We talked about it last week, on last week's episode, I should say. It is now open. Please, all you need to do, not email, send us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram your name and address. That's it. Only details we need. Your name, your address, and let us know that you want in on the 7th annual gift exchange, and we will put your details down. We will, 98% of the time, we'll reply and tell you received or you're on the list, just so you know that you're on.
Yep. Yeah, you'll get a reply from us.
And then after that, around the 1st of December or the weekend of Thanksgiving, depending on if we're bored or free, you will receive the name of your gift recipient. Not your gift giver, obviously, because it says Cloak and Dagger. We will send you the name and address of the person you'll be sending a gift to. Hopefully it's not someone you know. Sometimes it has been. Mm-hmm. Does not matter. Again, it is Cloak and Dagger. If you choose to tell them who sent the gift, that's up to you. If you want to keep it anonymous, that's fine as well. Gift in the $10 to $20 range, something local, something podcast related, something side gig related, whatever you feel like you think this person would enjoy or think is funny or get use out of, please keep those in mind and send it along for the Winter Solstice gift exchange. It is my favorite thing we do every year.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So if you want to get involved again, at Steve and Kyle, send us a message, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and get to it because we are running out of time.
Yeah, we'll post it on social media as well. And a couple last reminders. But when the deadline is here, when we close it, it has to be closed because we can't simply add a name to the list unless there's someone else we add to the list who can give you a gift in return.
Right.
You understand, everybody understands how numbers work, I hope. And we are limited by that. So when it's closed, it's closed. I'm sorry. We're not going to be able to add your name late to the game. We're giving you plenty of time, 4 whole weeks, we mentioned on last week's episode, to get your name and address in to anywhere to us on social media to be a part of this year. Let's make it the biggest one yet.
Definitely.
It's going to be a big number to make that happen. I don't think we can do it. So I'm just bracing my body for much like the parade, I'm bracing my body for disappointment. I'm bracing for everybody's gorgeous floats in this parade to look incredible, right?
And
10 feet, baby Jesus, like spinning on a mantle or something. And then you and I in a aluminum trailer that sounds like it's from the 60s, just rattling its way down the road with like 2 lights. And then we're going to throw the inflatable Mickey vampire in there if we're really
good
thin.
idea.
If we're really thin on space.
Very good idea.
We can do that.
All right. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, get signed up.
That's right.
All right. So we were thinking that maybe we would do something that we haven't done this in 6 months.
Boy, used to be a staple.
It did.
And then it took up way too much time. And I'm not talking about prep time. I'm talking about podcast time.
Oh, yeah. Prep time. I prepped this as I was eating a hard-boiled egg this morning. Took about 1 minute.
That's right. I am glad. Let's bring it back, Steve.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, if you hear this, it means we are unprepared to do anything else.
Pretty much. Timely-ish on some of these topics, Steve. I'll lead us off this week. Number 1, Kyrie Irving.
Let's see. He basically got the coach of the Nets fired, right?
No, not really.
Well, hadn't he been on a mission over the summer to get the general manager and the coach fired?
There was talk he didn't want to come back, and then there was talk that he wanted to be traded, but nobody was going to trade for him because he's having an issue. But I'm more talking about the big news with him. Have you been following it all?
Oh yeah, didn't he retweet like an anti-Semitic?
That's right.
Thing, like a movie or something?
Yeah, he tweeted a link and talked about an Alex Jones 1990s film. I forget. I don't even want to read the title because I don't feel comfortable saying one of the words in the title because touchy. And
so this
very anti-Semitic.
So this wouldn't be something where he just didn't realize it's obvious,
right? Yes, and he refused to for a while. Would not apologize for it. Would not say outright, I am not anti-Semitic.
What?
So,
okay.
Which kind of leads you down one road. If you're not going to say I'm anti-Semitic, what does that mean? Okay. But yeah, we'll talk more about that on the turnaround. Yeah. Second up, Elon Musk.
The new owner of Twitter.
Yeah, complaining. I mean, it's just a different way of running things. He's been complaining on Twitter because now companies are withholding ad money, and he laid off more than half the staff,
which is mind blowing. Half of the staff,
and before they even were
half of the whatever department,
right? Not like 2 out of a 4-person team.
Yeah,
no, thousands of people. There's already a lawsuit because in California you cannot do mass layoffs without 60 days notice, and in this case there was 12 hours notice. So
wow,
running smooth. Nothing to see here.
Everything's great. Free
speech is back.
Congratulations. By far my least favorite of the social media sites.
Yeah. No, I can see that. It's of the main ones, it's the biggest cesspool, I think.
Oh, definitely.
After that, Paul Pelosi.
I haven't followed this, but I know that somebody broke into the house and
wanted a hammer. And zip ties.
And was planning to kidnap Nancy Pelosi.
Wanted to break her legs.
Okay.
Was the goal. Broke in, beat her husband into pretty bad state. I believe at last check he was still in the hospital. I have no idea about now. I have not been following it. But yeah, it's just weird because you would think, and for the most part, and I'm not saying this has been overwhelming majority. This should be, universal denouncement, right?
Sure, yeah, of course, but it's political, so it's not.
So there's politicians insinuating that it was Elon Musk himself had to delete a tweet himself where he insinuated it was a gay tryst gone wrong.
That's how little I follow this stuff. I knew that something happened, but I didn't hear that part of it.
Mind blowing. Yeah, not great. That's a bad look. And so now here we are having another talk about more security for politicians in their own home, which, boy, what a way to live.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds great.
Eesh. Not unsubstantial. Someone got into the home of the third in line to be president of the United States.
Yeah, that's worrisome.
with seemingly no issues. Steve, next up, the World Series. Did you watch any of it?
I watched some of it, and how about that outcome?
You're a Phillies guy, right?
Yeah, diehard.
So I didn't know if them being in the World Series would be what brought you back to watching the games live on TV. I know Brother Mike went to a game, didn't he?
I'm not sure if he was at any of the World Series games. I know he was definitely at the
Championship
NLCS.
Series. That's right. He went to a Championship Series game, and I can't fathom any World Series ticket being remotely affordable to this, so I don't blame him for that. But still, such a cool environment. As of now, again, we're recording this early.
Yeah.
Today, they're playing Game 6.
As of today, the series is
3-2.
3-2, Houston.
Should we record? Did you want to? We can fill in the correct reaction.
Okay, so here I can record both of them now.
So let me go back quick, and I'll just real quick. Steve, the World Series, Houston and Philly. Did you watch any of it? What'd you think?
I'm so happy the Phillies won the World Series.
Steve, the World Series, Houston and Philly. You're a Philly native. What'd you think of the World Series? Did you watch any of it?
I'm so sad the Phillies lost the World Series.
That's how you produce a podcast.
Boy, every scenario. Oh, wait, I just thought of another one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Steve, World Series, Philly, Houston. Did you watch any of it? You're a Philly guy.
I can't believe that tornado hit in the middle of Game 6 and aliens ate all of the players. Are those the only 3 possible outcomes?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is just hang on. Okay. Steve, World Series, the October Classic, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October happened. What'd you think?
I can't believe it started raining blueberries and the game was canceled.
Steve, the World Series 2022 wrapped up. Houston, Philly, you're a Philly guy. What'd you think?
I can't believe that the stadium disappeared moments before the first pitch.
Boom. Cut one of those in.
Yeah, we'll just do the end edit point now.
It's kind of crazy to me. Today, November 5th, is the latest a World Series game will ever be played. And there's still a chance for Game 7.
Yeah, so there could still be 2 more. When would Game 7 be?
Which I think was initially supposed to be tomorrow, but I think they're terrified of football. I could be wrong, and I think they would have bumped a potential Game 7 to Monday. I could be wrong on that. Decent games, but then a lot of blowout games. It's been I don't know what baseball needs, but boy, going up against those first 8 weeks of football, it's tough. That's pretty tough sledding. Yeah. And lastly, Steve, Thanksgiving, a universal Tier 2 to Tier 3 holiday coming up.
Disagree.
You've got big plans. Are you going to cook veal at the Italian's house, or how are you? Don't you got a big slab of lamb over at Giuseppe's?
We do not have a big slab of lamb over at Giuseppe's.
Yeah, Giuseppe's.
Are you talking about my brother-in-law?
Yeah.
Alfredo?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. No, we are...
My apologies.
We're packing up the fam.
Okay.
Going to Cleveland.
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
What happened? Because this used to be, if I remember right, Thanksgiving was 50 minutes south on one highway for you.
Yeah, it was, and that was great. And then this is with Annette's family. Some members of the family got a little fussy because they drove further. So now we're going neutral site, which ups our travel time from 50 minutes to 5 hours.
And a hotel stay.
Hotel stay for 2 nights.
In Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. I did not know that, putting it on the list, so I can only apologize, especially to have to drive that far for a Tier 2 to Tier 3 holiday. That is
solid Tier 1 holiday. The turkey, the mashed potatoes.
We've talked about
stuffing.
Oh, we've talked about this in the
corn,
past. Green
bean casserole. Love it.
Are you still on the hook for potatoes? Is that the Steve
No,
item this year?
no,
no,
we
did
have-
you get bumped up.
We're doing catered. We're each chipping in like $20 a family or $20 a person or something, and it's catered. And that
Really?
is best case. So yeah, because the whole idea is that this year everyone is obviously driving a lot further, so nobody wants to
Right.
drive with a hot turkey in the back.
Yeah, you will need to get the inverter that you were using for the parade
right.
to keep the
We're just taking the Comanche, driving the Comanche to Cleveland.
everybody sitting on a lap. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah, totally legal. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Easier for you. And overall, the food situation easier.
Food
But
situation
again,
easy. Yeah.
As we talked about last year, I think you were only the potato guy, which is
I don't know, potatoes on Thanksgiving?
they're a main item. But in terms of prep that you can't screw up, a mashed potato
Yeah, it's tough
is
to
very
it's
hard
tough
to make bad.
Tough to mix or tough to screw them up, but difficult to reheat them and make them taste as good.
No question.
You got to do the milk.
Yep.
You got to whip them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a difficult item to bring back from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Tier 2, Tier 3. Before that, we talked about the World Series. You already labeled.
Boy,
you couldn't believe
how about those
it
outcomes?
ended.
How about those outcomes?
Couldn't believe how it ended. Me neither. That was wacky.
Nuts. First time that's ever happened.
Before that, Paul Pelosi getting attacked with a hammer.
Yep.
In his own bed.
Bummer.
That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy that I am not
A politician's spouse.
a politician's spouse. I'm happy I'm not anyone notable. that
Notable enough, right?
that somebody would want to do that.
Yeah, like you might get recognized in a grocery store,
Yeah.
but for the most part, and outside of, I would argue, a very few instances over the 10 plus years you've been associated, you haven't had anybody crazy.
No, nothing real scary like that.
There's always some people that, you don't want them to have your area of living, right?
Nope.
You don't want them to know that.
Like, I like my private life.
Would you be if phone books? Now, phone books are still a thing. Are you unlisted? Can you be unlisted? How do you
No
do
idea.
that?
No idea.
Because I'm going to check next time we get a phone. Put it in your phone. Just a reminder every day. If I get a phone book today, check if I'm unlisted.
Well, I mean, they don't list cell phones in the phone
No,
book,
that's
right?
a good point. So unless you have a landline,
Yeah, we
That's
don't have
right.
a landline.
That's right. So you're safe from the few wackadoodles. Listen to this.
Whoa, language.
Before that, Elon Musk buys Twitter seemingly against his will. He wanted to back out. And I think more than help his businesses and more than help the planet, which is, what he's claimed for years with the boring tunnel and electric cars, which is what he's wanted to do. He had a turn at some point to where he just wants to be famous.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. He's
I don't know if you saw the video of him walking into Twitter after he bought it carrying a sink.
carrying a sink. Yeah.
Like,
Let that sink in.
yeah, I think more than anything in the world, he desires to be funny and famous.
Yeah.
And he is.
I don't think he's funny.
I don't think he's
Yeah.
remotely funny.
No.
And 5 years ago, I would love to see, I think in Hollywood they refer to it as like a Q score, right? Mm-hmm. What people think of you.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see the last 5 years trends of him. Because 5 years ago, he was a Tesla guy, right?
Sure,
A
yeah.
goofy Tesla guy who wanted to make the world better with electric cars and high-speed transit to make the world a better place. And somewhere along this line, it's been a total flip.
Yeah, I think that he's somebody who has gotten a taste of being famous.
Yeah, and
he's
loves it.
he's the richest. Is he the richest man in the world or the second richest man in the world or something?
And he dated Amber Heard for a minute.
I'd
and-
imagine that gets to your head.
Yeah, it's hard. It's probably difficult not to.
Yeah.
But
Like when you can literally do whatever you want,
Yeah.
money has never been an option, at least in the last probably 15 years for him.
Yeah,
Money
right.
it's not something that he has to worry about. He's obviously a very smart guy.
yeah,
He's been extremely smart in business decisions and
he's made money. I mean, it's impossible to argue.
his success.
Right.
Yeah, you can't argue it.
Yeah, whether fluky or however you want to refer to it, he has simply been a smart and good businessman.
Yeah.
And before that, Kyrie Irving can't stop stepping in it, was suspended for a minimum of 5 games by the Brooklyn Nets after releasing a joint statement with the team that didn't reference specifically an apology, but then he shows up to the next morning's practice and has just a disastrous little press thing where the media person cuts it short after a few minutes. The Anti-Defamation League ends up rescinding their acceptance of a $500,000 donation from him because it went so disastrously. Suspended for a minimum of 5 games, then issues an Instagram apology.
Yeah.
This guy is a head case. And now I know a lot of people in professional sports, they're different. They're wired differently. I think you have to be. One, it's the competitive nature, whatever. But this is the flat earth guy. Mm-hmm. This is, I'm not against the vaccine. I'm just not getting vaccinated because I want to be a voice for the voiceless type of guy. Mm-hmm. Total goofball. But apparently a little darker than maybe initially thought.
Sure seems like it.
Sure
seems like it.
The talk of the sports world, but not for his play.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're inching closer. There's been some pundits out there saying, a really good basketball player now, they could see this being his last year in the league. Because what team is going to spend any capital on a guy who you don't know if he's going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah, that's crazy. Was that your
last
one? All right. Moving on to mine.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God, it's been a while. Okay, number 1, World Series.
Oh my gosh, I love it. The Fall Classic, big fan.
Okay.
Can't believe that happened.
The one thing?
That thing. The outcome. Everybody knows the outcome. It's over.
Okay, next. Herschel Walker.
Oh, God. We have to do better. Honestly. Like,
yeah.
There has to be.
Can't there be some kind of test?
Like, I haven't hidden the fact over the years that in general, I had leaned conservative and Republican in nature. Mm-hmm. He ain't either of them. Okay? This guy's a buffoon.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. Check.
And I don't even know if I should say that because it's pretty clear he has some trauma from his football playing days.
Yeah.
Where, not this far back, but leather helmets, This guy took a lot of hits and was a very physical football player. And I think the remnants of that are now showing. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he can't see that he is simply a pawn of a party is kind of gross.
Yeah, it's a little sad.
But here we are. My God, I can't believe it's this close that he could possibly be a seated senator in the United States Congress.
Up next, one of your favorite people of all time, Kanye West.
Oof. My goodness. Much like the Kyrie Irving thing, this guy cannot get out of his own way. But honestly, it's probably for the better because we now see what these people are.
Yeah.
Right? The insinuation has been there, and I'm not minimizing or making light of any mental health situation going on with Kanye West, which he's admittedly has bipolar disorder.
Sure. And that's, if you know it, you need to do something about it. You need to find help.
You cannot blame mental health situation for saying the things he's been saying.
No.
That's an unacceptable A to B line that you're drawing. There has to be many, many detours on that A to B for that to line up. Mm-hmm. And in general, I just think it's better to not give rationale or give voice to anti-Semitism in any regard, let alone one of the more well-known voices in not just the hip-hop community, but in the world.
Yeah, he's pretty influential. So
yeah, it seems like everybody has now left him, though. Yeah. Everybody. Adidas, all of his clothing people. He has no real monetary link that he did to the fashion world.
Boy, he's probably going to go broke.
Oh, God, you worry for him. Now, granted, there is talk that financially he is not as solvent as.
Yeah, you always wonder with that stuff because a lot of it's not like, what is it, liquid?
Right. And he has been, for the better part of forever, a hideous spender. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the reports is that, after his divorce, he bought a house like 3 houses down for millions of dollars, way overpaid, and it needs to be totally gutted and rebuilt. He just hasn't touched it since. These are the things that you've heard about over the years with people like Floyd Mayweather, things like that, not the smartest financial decisions. And this guy with really nobody in his corner now, so there should be some worry that he might not be in a good place financially.
I mean, not for me. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it.
Don't care.
All right, up next, Elon Musk and Twitter.
Yeah, I'm debating on whether to go, whether to leave.
You think you're gonna?
I'm debating on it.
Quit. I don't. Yeah,
I would admit to you. I mean, not like I've hit it. It's a vice for me.
If somebody said to me today, like if you walked in here and said, "Hey, I just shut down your Twitter account," I would
not care.
I would not care.
Right.
I would not care. The only thing I use it for is each week I retweet our podcast.
It is funny and I don't know if he's shown up. Yeah, on our podcast. So when I have it up on the desktop, it looks a little bit differently. And I wanted to bring it up to you because it has like a who to follow section. Mm-hmm. And the number 1 is a guy named Stephen Gilfillan.
Stephen Gilfillan. Don't know who that is.
But his @ is no PH in Steve.
What?
Yeah.
No fin Steve?
So you very clearly stole No Fin Steven.
Yeah, because there wouldn't ever be a PH in Steve.
Right.
Because that would be Steph.
Should we? In 3 weeks or 2 weeks, should we reach out to this guy? No Fin Steve?
When did he?
If he wants to talk?
How long has he been on Twitter?
Joined in September 2018. Has not tweeted since September 6, 2018.
Okay.
Has he liked anything in 4 years? 0 followers, 0 following.
Okay.
Hasn't liked any tweets. It seems like he came on in 2018. Didn't tweet. I mean, there's a few tweets from him, but in general.
Yeah. I want to say I've been on Twitter. I think I was late to the party. I held out for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to say 2012, 2013 maybe.
I mean, so that's your handle by a good 6 years
yeah.
then.
Come on.
You joined Steve in December 2013.
Yeah.
So you have No Fin Steve beat by almost 5 full years.
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to that guy. Was he mad when he found out? You know?
I don't really need to talk to him. I don't. Okay, finally, Powerball. As of this recording, it is at $1.6 billion with a drawing tonight.
Yeah. Gotta
buy some. The question I have for you is how much would you give me if you win? Say you win, you are the sole winner, other than like the people who get the $50,000 for getting X amount of numbers, right? Say you win the majority of that $1.6 billion because after taxes, if you take the one time, say roughly half, you're getting $800 million. If you take the annuity, you're getting, in the long run, probably like $1 billion or so.
I've also thought about
over
it.
30 years.
I thought about I would take the annuity.
Okay.
At my age. For a jackpot that size.
Now, if you take the annuity, say you take the annuity and you croak the next day, your family, that money is still going to them. Right?
I think the key would be to put that money payable to a trust, so that way that if you kick it, the state can't say,
the trust still gets
exactly.
It. Okay.
So
1.6. What is the annuity on
1.6?
Well, but I mean, you figure it's because you get more. Like you're not taxed as much.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up a lottery annuity calculator. So how much did you win? And I'll just put
1.6.
1600. My God, it's a lot of zeros. 000. 0. Right? No, that's only 16 million. My God, I'm way short.
No, it's 1, comma. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
That was good.
1,600. 1.6 million.
Yep.
10.6.
Yeah.
100.6. 1.6 billion.
There you go.
Over 30 years.
30 years.
Now, what they do is I think that most places will do a percentage increase. Oh, no, let's just do it flat. Flat rate. Mm-hmm. Without tax. We're going to do with tax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to keep it legal.
Yep. And you're going to be filing married.
Yep.
and you're going to be in this great state of Michigan. Mm-hmm. Sorry, this is apparently taking it very seriously. Your annuity payout, the first year, net, $31.396 million.
$31.396
for 30
million.
years. That would be the dollar amount you would get.
So you're getting $30 million a year, $31 million a year.
But for the sake of this discussion, let's say we take the lump because it's easier to say that.
You get so you're getting $800 million.
Sure,
$900 million.
Probably a little less. Let's call it half. Yeah. $800 million. My first question to you would be, what's the dollar amount today, Steve, that it would take for you to retire? And I'm not asking you to say that on the podcast.
I don't care.
That's what I would ask you.
Where I would feel comfortable and
taking into account what you have saved or in your 401k, whatever. What's the dollar amount you want to say? I don't have to work anymore.
I feel like I could make $5 million work.
Okay,
right?
Sure.
Do you does that seem reasonable?
For me, I've always said, and granted, this is probably subscribing to a bygone era. I'd always learned or thought $1 million saved, you can retire. Because then you can live off the interest. Assuming, obviously, outside of this year, which hasn't been great.
Because I've heard that before too, but I don't know. I'd want that. I need a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah. So the idea is, if you have $1 million, you live off 8 to 10% interest. On the low end, it's $80,000 a year just on interest. You can live off $80,000 a year, and you still keep $1 million bucks saved.
So if I say $5 million, you're giving me $5 million?
No, this was the hypothetical question. Oh. So you think $5 million to retire, like today? Because granted, this isn't age 65.
Yeah,
you're in your early 30s.
Yeah, 41.
Steve, I'm willing to say, here's what I give you: $25,000.
Okay, 25,000.
It's a nice little seed, huh? Whew. Upgrade the Jeep. Maybe get the bigger cricket machine. Maybe finally get those trees taken down in the back. Huh?
So you won't give me money. You won't give me actual cash. You'll just pay for all the things.
I'll give you the services that we've talked about. So you'll come home one day and those
one of those maddening things in the world. As you pull up in your golden car,
meeting the tree people who are going to take the 3 trees in the back down.
And pulling out just the thickest stack of cash and peeling off hundreds.
And they say something like $1,500 out the door, and I say, here's 2. I don't want to count them. So I just give them $500 extra.
Give them some Jimmy John's too for lunch.
And then look in as you are jacking up your 1988 Jeep Comanche to do something underneath, and wave to you as my driver pulls out of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Would you have a driver?
No. That's a waste. Where we live, waste.
Yeah.
Now, granted, when I move to Manhattan...
Oh, you're moving to Manhattan?
Yeah, I think I'm going to... Well, I'm not moving. I'm getting a loft.
Sure.
Or a nice apartment.
Right.
That I can rent out the rest of the year, like Airbnb. Mm-hmm. And then, so I'll have an on-call New York driver.
So your net worth is now $1.6 billion.
And again, I'm taking the annuity.
And giving me $25,000.
Baby, what are you going to do with it all? Here's what I'll do also.
Okay.
Just because, I've known you a little bit. I'll pay for Evelyn's trade school.
So,
and you know what?
I noticed no mention of Baby Boulin Wall.
Well, we don't know how he's going to pan out yet. He might be a lefty pitcher, and I don't need to do anything, right? Because he could be make it in the bigs. Mm-hmm. Fine. 2 years of each trade school for Evelyn and Boulin Wall.
Okay.
They can pick.
On top of the $25,000?
$25,000 is for you and Annette to retire.
To retire.
My suggestion, and again, this is just as a smart businessman who won the lottery, throw it in Bitcoin.
Okay. Well, now I know where I stand.
I'll let the kids pick.
I know where I stand.
Plumber, electrician, auto mechanic, carpenter. 2 years each. If they can't get it done at that, you're on your own.
generous man right there.
I'd top you off to $1 million, Steve.
What?
Total honesty,
That's quite a jump.
I would put you at $1 million.
Well, I want it after taxes.
Okay. Well, you're getting picky, so now we're getting closer back to $25,000.
I want to be able to say I'm a millionaire.
No, I get it. How about you give me the contact for your financial guy, which I already have. It's Ron.
Yeah,
I'll call up Ron.
You know Ron.
I'll call up Big Dutch Ron. And I'll say, hey, I don't have any authorization. I need you to send me the latest statement for Stephen and Annette. And he'll no doubt zip it over to me in an email that's not secured.
Yeah.
And I'll open it up, and then I'll PayPal you the difference to get to exactly $1 million.
Exactly.
Not a penny more. So if you go out and buy a latte,
I'm not a millionaire anymore.
You need to wait for the next paycheck to come through so you can spend that money to still stay above $1 million. But that makes me wonder, if I top you off, if I make you a millionaire, does that, I mean, how exclusive are you? Like, what's the club of people who are millionaires?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Worldwide in 2021, according to the Global Wealth Report, 5.2 million people became millionaires.
Wow.
A million's a big number, but when you think about it,
it's not
as big as it once was, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
including those 5.2 million, 2.5 million of whom are in the U.S. Total number of millionaires globally increased to 62.5 million at the end of 2021. That's still, I'm topping you off. I'm putting you in that category. You're one of 62.5 million. That's a pretty exclusive club.
It's pretty good. What are there, 8 billion people in the world?
Yeah, that's top whatever percent. What's that? What is 62,500,000 divided by 8 billion? 5 to the 17th power. 1 out of 5 to the 17th power. That's small.
Love it.
Exclusive club, Steve. All right, let's zip back through these. Let's get out of here.
Okay, before that we had Elon Musk and Twitter.
Yeah, we talked about it on mine as well. Seems like he just wants to be famous. But if this thing goes south, Steve, we don't have time to talk about it today. He extended his worth to buy Twitter.
Yeah.
He has loans, which I don't know the last time Elon Musk took out a loan. He has loans from gigantic firms to buy Twitter that he has to pay back. So if this thing goes south, could we see Elon Musk not in trouble?
Probably not.
I'm not assuming we're going to see Elon Musk at the soup kitchen. We could see him lose a large portion of his net worth if somehow he has to dump Twitter for pennies on the dollar.
Gosh, I'm worried.
Nervous for him.
Kanye West before that.
Yeah, boy. I mean, mental health episodes aside,
get some help.
It doesn't seem like he's allowing people in. How awkward he's still showing up to his kids, like soccer games and stuff. Him and his wife are not speaking.
Yeah.
Since he wore his White Lives Matter shirt to a fashion show, guy cannot get out of the way.
Herschel Walker.
By the time this is out, the election will have ended. So let me record really quick.
Okay, hold on. Okay, second, Herschel Walker.
Yeah, boy, we're all doomed. The hellscape and hole in the earth that we should all fall into, please consume us, because we're there.
Okay, number 2, Herschel Walker.
Thank God there's a little bit of levity and sanity.
Yeah, bullet dodged.
And the state of Georgia rescuing the United States from the abyss. I am okay with qualified candidates on either side. If they show to be qualified, he has not shown qualified to be a father, let alone a seated congressman in the United States.
And first on the list, the World Series.
What a delight. I didn't watch.
The Fall Classic.
Yeah, I did not watch. I was an Astros fan. I still have my American League Championship Series hat from 2017.
Astros fan. Now, what about, because 3 of your favorite people in the world, my brother and his 2 sons, Daniel and Joey.
Yep.
Big Phillies fans. Do you have a little bit more of a vested interest in the Phillies because of that?
This is one of those World Series where I honestly don't mind who wins. I think public support is obviously behind the Phillies, or was behind the Phillies. It's already done.
Right, yeah, of course.
You heard that outcome.
You believe that?
But that's a lot stemming from the cheating
2017,
scandal.
yeah.
But the further we get from that, this Astros team, and especially if they had won the second World Series here, is going to go down as a mini dynasty. They've been to 3 out of 4 World Series. Like
that little dude, Altuve,
it's unbelievable.
He's one of the most punchable looking people I've ever seen.
Honestly. And I feel like he'd be one of those little like inflatable bop ones.
Yeah.
That you just bop him and
just
then he bounces
because
right
he's
back
the one
up.
that did the
don't touch my shirt.
Don't touch my shirt because I have an electronic buzzer taped to me.
They're not the Yankees, but I see why people get aggravated because they let gigantic talent go.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole becomes the highest paid pitcher in baseball, goes to the Yankees. They replace him. Carlos Correa, all-star shortstop, leaves. They replace him.
Never heard of him.
George Springer, massively talented outfielder, goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. What do, Steve?
Don't care.
Replace him. You can see why it'd be aggravating as fans of other teams to watch this dynasty grow.
Tired of talking baseball. Didn't really care in the first place.
World Series has become more of a regional thing, hasn't it? It's kind of crazy to watch baseball become less national and much more of a regional game as we go.
At Steve and Kyle. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
You wonder if they need like
Jesus.
Yankees.
You know where we're going to see you next, folks? We're going to see you at the Hudsonville Holiday Parade.
Come on out. Details. We made a Facebook event. Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle if you need those, or HudsonvilleEvents.com for the parade route. There's a nice diagram right there if you're traveling in from someone out of town, or if you're in the area. We would love to see you on the side of the road. We'll wave to you as we record our live podcast through the holiday parade. Come celebrate with us in Seasonal Sammy. We enter the solstice season.
Yeah, we'll see you in just a few days. Adios.
But they really need the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Oh, my God.